part 3. So there you go, right? I'm just like this whole time I'm put back into the situation that I was when I was married. Like, I would spend a lot of time trying to rewind the imperfect DVR VHS component 4-track, 8-track, 24-track in my head, right? Okay, what did I say? What did she say? And then I said this. And then she... Like, Smurf that. Smurf that. That's who I lived with. I mean, I would like to think that that's just not normal. Her, not me. And at any point, if you're listening to this, you can call me out all you want. Tag me in the comments and call me out. But give me a reason. Explain your reason. Don't just say, oh yeah, Travis, you're wrong. Right? You know, oh, okay, like what do you mean? Wrong about what? Because I've said a lot of things. So if you're going to come at me, you better come ready. I'm not afraid. I am not afraid. So don't mistake my I don't even know what I was going to say now. All right, I'm just ranting now. It's been a while. It's been bottled up inside, even though we have a decently cordial relationship at this point. Okay, so going back to where we were with the previous backstory narration. So I say, oh yeah. So he goes, first of all, don't get lippy. And second of all, yeah, I say, okay. And then I responded, first of all, you think I'm being lippy? And second of all, this rule applies to the both of us, comma, right? And he says, I don't understand your question. So I said, if you were expecting me to wash and put away my dishes every single time after I eat them, that rule applies to you too, correct? To which he said, why would it apply to me too? And then I responded, wow. He said, you have 1 week to move out. I hope that dramatic pause is your picking your jaw up off the floor, because I was just like, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, what? What? 1 week, right, to get out. And again, like after 3 times of having to address an issue with me, the 4th time is clean up after yourself immediately, which could have been the first rule, right? So now I'm just going back and going, oh, this was the issue the whole time. This is why, for him, he could say that all 3 of those different instances were the same instant, or the same genre, the same class. Not cleaning up after yourself properly, putting bowls away where bowls go, right? Because he has he has storage containers that are clearly storage containers, okay? And I remember thinking this, right? God damn it. I remember thinking this when he first said this to me. I'm like, what's confusing about where the bowls go? Because all of the storage containers are over in this cupboard. That's where I put them. In this cupboard, there are 4 blue bowls, large, like soup bowls. And then within them are 6 cereal bowls, just cheap IKEA ones, with a round one in top. Look, I got this in my head. This is what was in my head, like thinking through, like, how did I even like put one of the wrong ones? Like I wouldn't, so I'm like, I don't know. Look, I get it. I should have said, please help me understand what I have done that's not consistent with your standard. Show me, right? Because once you show me, then I know what to do. And then you can't say, without evidence, you're doing that. Yeah, this is the second time I haven't to tell you. No, this is the first time, because this is something different. So this is the first time. Right? So anyway, I started this walk thinking about having to think about, being mobile again or whatever. I don't know. So I went and looked at a room for rent in a very, very expensive neighborhood. However, it's being domiciled by 5 other guys. And it's a bachelor pad, really, which I don't suppose I really have an issue with, right? I mean, that's what I am. I'm a bachelor. It was a very, very nice house, but it's well lived in and whatnot. But here's the deets. It's got a pool table. It's got a full basement with a second TV. I've got a TV in my room. It's already furnished. And, it's got plenty of room. And it's in a beautiful neighborhood. Gorgeous, out of the way neighborhood like you... Sorry. Yeah, just a beautiful home. Beautiful home that's getting bachelorized. But part of your rent pays for a maid. So they have a maid come in every week, which is helpful. Otherwise, it would be, I'm sure, a dreadful pigsty. And distracted by a female specimen across the street. So I went over and talked to them, and it's doable. So my question is like, is this where I want to be, right? Because I've also got scheduled a box truck that used to be something like a U-Haul that has been gutted. Well, not gutted because U-Hauls were already gutted, but has been fabricated to be like a studio with storage that's divided at the wheel well. So it's just got just has a futon in it and nothing else. So it's just bare bones, right? But if I buy that and then work on it to build it up to a sustainable tiny home, that could be an investment that I would want to look into. So I'm thinking about that. But then if I do that, I'm going to deplete all of my resources, which is not completely terrible per se, because working for Uber, I can have cash, every day. So that's not that bad, but it'll just be down to zero. Whereas right now I'm comfortable, obviously, because I'm going back to Milwaukee next week to see my good friend, John, and his amazing family. Again, I'm so excited. They are a beautiful, beautiful family. So, anyway. Oh yeah, then the thing that I was thinking about when I first started talking on the old recorder was hitting my dad up for a visit, because he's got a third bedroom. And he and Barbara aren't doing that great health-wise, right? So I could go out there and help them. So I just texted my dad and gave him the skinny. But then I said, oh, wait a minute. I could come spend time in Texas for a couple months, ... right? Clear implication. So, if my dad said, you know what, yeah, that'd be good. Barbara and I talked about it. We'd like to see it. If you need to stay a couple months to, whatever, go ahead. That'd be awesome, right? Totally awesome. Because then I could transfer all of my Uber qualifications over to Texas. And then that takes like 2 weeks for those transfers to happen, because Uber is just slow as Smurf in the HR department. And, then I'll have time, then I'll have my money. I wouldn't have bought the trailer. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. So, that was where my mind was at, and I've now talked for probably 45 minutes. So, I'm going to dive out of this and put on some tunes and chillax in the corners of my mind. This has been another exciting adventure of Piensas de Viejo. I'm your host, Travieso Finley. Until next time.